Hey, what's up YouTube? So today I'm going to showcase my Heavy Attack Magicka Dragonite solo build updated for the Necrom DLC. This build is intended to be used for solo play and offers a good balance between solo play and survivability. This build is perfect to use in Overland and comes with decently easy to acquire gear. Keep in mind that this is a baseline build and there are many viable gear sets and combinations, so it ultimately depends on what you'd like to do. With that being said, here we go. So starting off in the character sheet, we have 64 points in a Magicka, and we're running the Thief Mundus. For the race, it doesn't matter too much, but for this build, we are a High Elf, because High Elves have some of the best passives for Magicka DPS. So for the food, you have a few different options, but the one that I found works great is just standard Tri-Stat food. Something like Bewitched Sugar Skulls would work just fine. Reason being is when we're doing a lot of solo content, we tend to use our stamina for dodge rolls and whatnot, so having a bigger stam pool can come in clutch. You can also just opt to run Bistat, Health, and Magicka food if you would like that instead. For the potions, we're just using standard Essence of Health or just Tri-Stat potions. The Crown Restoration potions will work just fine. Reason is we have access to the major buffs that we need, which is Major Sorcery and Major Prophecy. Running the Tri-Stat potions allows us to have recoveries for all three resources, which can come in handy. So for the blue tree, we're running Fighting Finesse, Exploiter, Weapons Expert, and Deadly Aim. If you want to slot a defensive CP, you can swap out Exploiter for defensive CP. For the red tree, we're just running Celerity, Slippery, this is our flex, you can run anything here honestly, and Fortified and Balanced Vitality. So for the gear, I chose to run 5-piece Sergeant's Mail paired with 5-piece Noble Duelist, a Lightning Maelstrom Staff on the back bar, a Slime Crawl, and 1-piece Pale Order. So breaking down in the main hand, we have a Precise Lightning Staff of the Sergeant with a Flame Damage Glyph. On the back bar, we're running Maelstrom Lightning Staff infused to the Weapon Damage enchant. For the head slot, we have 1-piece Medium Slime Crawl, Divines with a Max Mag enchant. For the chest, 1-piece Heavy or just Sergeant's Mail chest. This is in Divines with the Tri-Stat Glyph, just for the little bit of extra resources. For the shoulder, waist, hands, legs, and feet, we have 5 pieces of Noble Duelist, all traded in Divines with Max Mag enchants. And for the jewelry, we have 2 pieces of Sergeant's Mail jewelry, traded in Bloodthirsty with weapon and spell damage enchants. And lastly, because we're a solo build, we're running Ring of the Pale Order for the ton of self-healing that it's going to give us. This is Bloodthirsty with a weapon and spell damage enchant. And for the skills, we're running Burning Embers. This is what I would call the flex spot. This is a good dot, and it also does heal you, but you can't swap this out for whatever you may need. Flames of Oblivion, this is like a pseudo spammable for AoE, and also gives us access to Major Prophecy and Savagery, so this is a really nice skill to have. We have Blinding Flare on here. You may not need this for a lot of situations, but the major protection that it gives you for having it slotted is really nice. Volatile Armor, because we need a source of Major Resolve for more resistances. Plus this does a little bit more of damage when you take damage. Coagulating Blood as our heal. You can also run Resolving Vigor as well. Depends on if you want to use your mag or your stam. Corrosive Armor, because this is our panic button, meaning once we pop this, we're basically invulnerable. And also ignores all penetration, so really strong skill. On the back bar, we're running Eruption for an AoE dot. Blockade of Storms to proc off balance, and for our Maelstrom Lightning Staff on the back bar. We're running Elisus for a source of Major Breach. On top of that, it's going to apply Burning Chill and Concussion. Concussion paired with the wall is going to give us access to off balance, making our heavy attacks hit harder. Molten Ornaments, because we need a source of Empower, and also this gives us Major Brutality and Sorcery. Channeled Acceleration, you can run Barbed Trap here if you'd like, but I really like having that Major Expedition when I pop this. And lastly, Thunderous Rage or Destro ult. This is our main damage ult and comes in really clutch for AoE situations. So for closing thoughts, the reason why we're not running Oakensoul for Empower is Molten Ornaments literally gives us Empower for like 36 seconds, which makes it really easy for us to have access to 2 bars and still benefit from it. Rather than using only 5 skills with the Oakensoul, having access to 2 bars allows us to run a lot more utility skills, and thus I think it's a better idea to go 2 bars, especially for a solo like heavy attack mag DK build. Just very quickly though, I think it's also important to mention that Infallible Mage is also another good set you can run instead of Noble Duelist, but I found out that when you're running solo and everything's running at you, you can literally proc Noble Duelist the whole time, and I think that wraps it up. As always, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or better yet, come join our Discord. Link is in the description. I will have a written guide linked in the description for those who would prefer that instead. And as always, thank you to my YouTube members. If you want to help me support my content creation, please consider becoming a member. And as always, thanks again, and see you in the next one.
We will summon a dozen more!